Hello, everyone. My name is Great Eagle Sim Pilot. I'm a real-world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this afternoon, this morning, this evening? Welcome to yet another midday live stream here. Today we're going to be doing we're going to be flying the Frontier A321 Powder the Polar Bear. That's what we're going to be flying today. Just over the mountains. A little quick hop over the mountains here from Salt Lake City down to Denver, Colorado. So stream will be a little bit on the shorter side, which is quite alright. Got a few other things that I'll be doing throughout the rest of today. So let's get right to it. We'll hop right on into the flight deck here. We'll import everything that we need from SimBrief onto our tablet. Excellent. Go to ground operations here. 195 people will load the aircraft, boarding and refueling. There we go. While that's doing that, we will go ahead and we'll get the IRs going in nav 1, 2, and 3. Everything else on here looks good. We'll come on down and test our CVR. There we go, good tone there. Everything else on this panel looks good. Coming on up to our fire panel here, we'll test engine fire 1, APU, and engine fire 2. Alright, excellent. All of those check out. The hydraulic and fuel panel all looks good. The electrical panel is all set. We can go ahead and test the batteries if we so choose to. Where's the electrical page? There it is. And we'll go ahead and turn those back on. Excellent. And no, not today. We're not going to pass the test today. Okay. So however you want to do it. We're going to put that back on its normal page there. We'll put the air conditioning dials up out there so when the bleed air comes on, it's going to come on cool but not cold. There we go. Anti-ice looks good. Propede is on auto. Capper pressurization panel looks good. Our external lights are set how I would like them to. Let's go ahead and get the APU started here so it's already ready to go. There we go. We armed the emergency lights. We got no smoking on. Seatbelt signs off for now. Coming on up to the first officer's overhead panel. PA is out in about the 3 o'clock position. We got data and VHF3. That looks good. The rest of his panel all looks good. Coming over to the glare shield from left to right. All of our lights should be extinguished on the EFIS panel, the captain's EFIS panel here. We got the flight directors on. We have an altimeter set 3022. That's the current one. Constraints on arc 10 nautical miles, and we don't need VOR ADF at this time. I'll set that up a little bit later for our engine out procedure here. Coming over to the center FCU here. We want digits values displayed in our window heading vertical speed. That looks good. And all the push buttons should be off. On the first officer's EFIS, we're looking for the same thing. We don't need the VOR ADFs, at least just yet. We want 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints are on. The current altimeter setting is set with the flight directors on. All the rest of his push buttons on his glare shield are also extinguished. The main instrument panel coming from the captain's side. BFD on the left, ND on the right. Our ISIS is now aligned. Upper ECAM and lower ECAM displays are in the correct orientation. Want to brake fan off. We got down through green. The anti-skid nozzle steering is on. We have the correct date and time-ish there. The landing gear is down with no red arrow on the first officer's flight instrument display. We got the ND on the left, the PFD on the right, and we can adjust the brightness as we need to. I'll just leave it where it is now. Coming on down to the center pedestal here. We will check for the correct database. We got CFM 56B53 5B3s. Ugh, that was a mouthful. And the correct date. Let's go ahead and hit the init and do an init request there. I got that radio frequency wrong. It's 1905. That's the CTAF frequency for Salt Lake City, so we'll leave that as is. Our ACP looks good. Integral lighting looks good. Radar is off. Predictive wind shear is off. Coming up to the center pedestal here, we'll see if there's any hidden messages that we need to recall. Nope, normal. We'll hit clear. Those levers at idle. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brakes are retracted. Our flaps are up. We have digits displayed in our rudder trim window here, and our gravity gear extension is stowed. For the first officers McDo, we'll just assume they both match. Rarely do they ever not match. When they don't match, you have a crosstalk issue. Let's see. We'll go ahead and accept the initial load sheet, and I'll leave it on that page for now. We'll leave his RMP and ACP. That all looks good. And our transponder is all set. We have the auto ATC of 0533 that is set in there. And lastly, we can do our alternate brake check here. So we'll press both brake pedals down, release the parking brake. Ooh. Okay. What is this all about? Uh-oh. Are you sensing my rudder pedal at all? Gotta love it. Well, I don't know what happened from yesterday to today, where suddenly you're not... Yeah. Okay. I go back through here and reset, make sure everything is set. Nope, that's not what I usually use. Even though somehow all the buttons work as they should. There we go. That's the one I want. And our throttle quadrant here. This pretty much works like it should. I don't think I have it set up to... No, I don't need rudder curve. A separate rudder now. So, you'll have a general setting. I forgot what I had for this. Okay. Oop. This takes way too long to do. So we'll leave that like that. And I don't know if I had an Airbus. Yeah, no. I don't want I and I Airbus. Because those bindings are slightly different with how they use the reverser function. Nope, not that either. So I think I had it correct where it was. There we go. Only took it the entire time, but finally got a keyboard. Seemed like everything on the keyboard was working correctly. Yeah. No. Yeah? I think that's what I use. Actually, I might have a general setting. You gotta love it when you gotta go back through every time you start flight sim and redo all your controls. To be fair, with the new update, the sim has been way more consistent with keeping whatever you had last time as your control inputs for the next time. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's try this again. We'll press down both pedals, release the brake. There you go, release the left pedal, and then the right pedal. Both of them are moving up and down in sync. There we go. Or without any delay. Excellent. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the programming of the FMS. Let's see, or FMGC, whatever you want to call it here. Let's see, we're going to be Frontier Flight 3318. Cost index is going to be 15. And we're going to be cruising along at 310, ISA of +2, so 42. current temperature here on the ground is 13 degrees. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. Excellent. Let's see. Init B here. Zero fuel weight is going to be 149.9. Oops, wrong one. I am looking at the wrong one. I just need the arrow. So 149.9. We'll put a slash in there for our CG of 25.2. Our fuel load is going to be 17.4. We'll zero out the route reserve. Get to our flight plan here. They are going north, so we'll take off on 34 left. Departure 34 left. It's going to be on the rugged 3. Purdy transition. We'll insert that, and for our arrival, we're going to go south. The winds are pretty steady out of the south out in Denver, so have us planning on doing 16 right into Denver. So we'll do the ILS to runway 16 right. The start is going to be the Longs 3 camper transition. So Longs 3 camper transition. Excellent. We'll go ahead and insert that. And we need to go back and uplink our winds. Go ahead and request that. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get some performance information. Yeah, 34 left, dry, I don't know. All right, so we'll sink the prelim at 2,000 pounds, so 168.7, 168.7. There we go. Winds are variable. We'll calculate that out, and we shall send that to the McDo. Excellent. So winds are uplinked. Come to the performance page. Performance is uplinked. That looks good. Good to our descent phase. We'll put in 290. Into our descent phase there. Secondary flight plan. Go ahead and copy that. We'll go back to our main flight plan here. We'll do a fixed info TCH and 9 miles. I think it's 8 or 9 miles that I did. So TCH, the closest one, obviously. And we'll do like a 8 miles, something like that. Yeah, that's about 5 miles from the runway. So we'll proceed straight ahead for a few miles, and then we'll make a right-hand turn to like a 344 heading that'll keep us in the valley and over the Salt Lake there. Excellent. With that all done, let's go ahead. IRs are aligned. Ground control is on. Let's see here. Let's do a top of, there's no ATC online, so we'll just go ahead and throw in 310 as our top altitude. There we go. We got terrain on ND. ISIS, well, not the ISIS, but park and brake is on. We'll triple check the indicator there. ACP and RMP are checked. Let's go to our data page here, position monitor, and we're looking for $40, 47.3. We got 40, 47.4, and 111, 58.7, 111, 59.5. So that looks good. Our ND looks good there. In fact, no, we're going north. I don't even need that since we're going north. Wow, I just realized that. That was dumb. Oh well. ND looks correct for the most part. Yep, the orientation looks correct. Heading looks correct. We got on the PFD V1, V2, climate F, our blue flight directors 1 and 2. We can go ahead and test our oxygen there. Excellent. And now we can go ahead and ask if Ghost FO is ready for a briefing. Yep. All right. What are your threats? Biggest threat is we have this little hotspot here on the way down, but it should be pretty straightforward because what we'll do is we'll just exit whatever this spot is here, if that's the spot at all. Maybe we have to go Foxtrot 5, Foxtrot, and Bravo. And so we'll take Bravo or Alpha. It doesn't really matter to me. Probably go down Alpha, down to the end at Alpha 1. So we get that hotspot there, and so we have terrain to the east. So that all looks good. Like I said, we have this hotspot to worry about. We'll more than likely take Alpha 1 to the end there. Plan on doing a flaps 2 flex takeoff. Standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we need to reject for? Nope. All right. In the event that we do lose an engine after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to nope, we're already above 5,000 feet. We'll continue straight ahead to about 8,000 feet, clean up the aircraft, and with the ECAM, and plan on a return to 3-4 left or 3-4 right. Otherwise, we'll continue out on the SID. Our top altitude is 31,000 feet. That'll get us radar vectors around to, I think it's Rugged is the first fix, or Bubby. Yeah. Is the first fix at our above 11. Got Unicom set in our secondary there, or the standby, and 0533 is our squawk. Do you have any questions? No questions. Excellent. Looks like boarding is all complete. We can go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. External power can come off. APU is on. We'll get the bleed air going. APU can come on. Beacon can come on. We want to check our fuel, make sure it's on board, balanced, and our pumps are on. That looks good. Hydraulics all look good. Pressurization, get the slight pressure bump there, but we have landing elevation auto with the correct landing altitude there, and engine oil all looks good. With that said, let's do a before start checklist. Recorder ground control is on. Our flight forms and maintenance log is on board. Reviewed. We have aircraft 711. Fuel quantity. Let's see. I think 17.4 is required. 17.3 is on board. Takeoff performance, we have 155, 156, 156 with a flex of 44. Oxygen is checked. Seatbelt sign on. ECAM checked. Parking brake is on and checked. MCDU is set. Altimeters, we have 3022. And departure briefings reviewed. The before start checklist is complete. Excellent. They're all ready down below. All we need to do is close up the door. Excellent. See ya in Denver. We'll go ahead and return and accept the final load sheet there. And all we need to do, I think, is disconnect some stuff here. Let's go into ground services. We disconnect the GPU. I think they're all ready to go outside. So, I said 3-4, so nose right. Nose right, there you go. Alrighty, will do. Alrighty, I'll turn the volume up so we can hear the engine start here. There we go. You gotta love GSX when it works perfectly. It's just absolutely, it's real life. It is real life. Brake set, clear to disconnect the interphone. Have a great rest of your day. I am on live weather, right? Seems very clear out. Yeah. Real time live. Sweet. Very nice day out today, at least in Salt Lake City. Absolutely beautiful. There's a pin. I have a salute. You can go ahead and let her know that we got the salute. There we go. Bye-bye. Alrighty, we have 2 good engine starts. I'll bring the volume back down just a little bit there. Excellent. Let's go ahead and go flaps 2. And let's go ahead and put our final numbers in here. So fuel prediction page, we're at 149.90. Okay. Those are, we're spot on with the CG at 25.2. Yep, so spot on. Excellent. So I will leave that there. And we can do an after start checklist. Engine on tires, we don't need our statuses. I've been checked, and the rudder trim is 0. The after start checklist is complete. Alrighty. Just to give the flight attendants a little bit more time, we'll go ahead and do our before takeoff checklist here. So let's start with our flight control check, shall we? Pull up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. We'll go ahead and make sure we re-unpress that button there. Everything, it looks good there. Well, it looks about right. We'll put predictive wind shear in auto. And we will test our takeoff config there. Waiting on the cabin. Excellent. Before takeoff checklist. Flaps are 2 planned. We have 2 indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Our weight is 167.2. We're looking at 166.7, so that looks good. Snap trim, 25.2%. We got 24.7%. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo. Takeoff cabin blue. Before takeoff checklist is to the line, we'll go ahead and begin our taxi out here. Salt Lake traffic. Frontier Flight 3318 will be taxiing runway 34 left via, looks like we're spot 16, and we'll cross over to Alpha 1, Salt Lake City traffic. Alrighty. So the Jepson chart, oh no, that's Charlie right there. Is that really a new taxiway? Taxiway Charlie? So I have to go up to spot 16 and then Echo Alpha. That's what it looks like. Because I don't think we can go out here. Alrighty. Cabin is ready. There we go. So yeah, looks like we're gonna have to. You can't sit here, so I'll bring this map down here. Okay. So it looks like we need to make a right-hand turn, go up to spot 16, and take Echo and Alpha. Or I guess you could go down. It doesn't make any sense to go down. I don't know. Wouldn't know how they would use their ramp. We'll just go up to spot 16. Very interesting how they chose to do this. Here's Echo, so we'll take Echo here. That's cool. They even get like the little underground tunnels for like service vehicles to use. How neat. Really, really good scenery. And then we'll cross Bravo and go on to Alpha and take Alpha down to the end. So in the event of an engine failure, we'll just, we can keep straight or we can make a slight left-hand turn that takes us slightly away from the mountains. Either way, the runways parallel the mountains, so we should be fine going northbound. It's southbound that has a few more mountains in the way. Alrighty, here's Alpha. We'll turn left onto Alpha. And we'll take Alpha all the way down to the end. Alrighty. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. There we go. And with that done, I'm going to bump the thrust up just a little bit here. There we go. Just a tad. Seems like we're holding a constant 7 knots, even though I get the thrust levers almost at 30%, man. I think the CFMs need a little bit more retuning. They seem a little underpowered, or a lot underpowered. At least their idle seems underpowered on the ground. Like, there's no way 30% is only going to get you just about around about 7 knots. Usually once you start going at a good clip, you can taxi around at idle. On these, even a 321 should be able to taxi around on idle once you get going at a pretty decent clip. But I know that's just one guy's opinion. Alrighty. We did the before takeoff checklist down to the line. Let's go down below the line here. So runway and I'm gonna put performance over here. I'll put flight plan over here. Runway and FMS, we have runway 34 left in the box on the screen and out the window. That is checked. Our minimum takeoff fuel, 16.8 required. We have 17.1 on board. Flight attendants notified. Engine mode is in normal. And our TCAS is in TARA. The before takeoff checklist is complete. Finding it very hard that I'm just cruising along here at 30% N1 and the airplane's hardly even accelerating. Don't know what that's all about, but you know, it is what it is. Ooh, there's the polar bear looking back at you. I don't know. I think I'm liking where I have my UV exposure set to right now. I think I have it at negative 0.7 or 0.75. Just enough to darken it up a little bit. So not everything's whitewashed. I should fly back into Albuquerque is what I should do. Albuquerque, I have a scenery for that, and it's like notoriously whitewashed. Like you can barely see anything. It's so like just everything is one color, it seems like. There we go. Picking up 1 knot every 5 minutes, it seems like. Salt Lake City traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 will be lining up at runway 34 left. We'll be departing on the Rugged 3 departure, Salt Lake City traffic. Excellent. I see no one on final. Of course, no one is on the runway currently. So we can go ahead and light them up. Not even going to bring the throttles to idle. I'm just tapping the brakes, slowly slowing it down because it's going to take forever to get the speed back up. Salt Lake City traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 departing runway 34 left on the Rugged 3. Salt Lake City traffic. Alrighty. Good enough. Bring it all the way up to 50%. Half down on the side stick. Flex. Thrust set. $80. Checked. V1. Rotate. Positive rate, you're up. Climb. Climb is set. Salt Lake City traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 departing the pattern to the north. Salt Lake City traffic, final call. Excellent. Unicom up there. Let's go flaps 1. Get that autopilot going. I don't think, as of right now, we'll cross Ruby at or above 11, which is why I'm not going direct to Ruby right now. Very hard to tell. I mean, really only one way to know, and that's to say direct to, or not Ruby, Bubby. Direct to Bubby. We can insert that. We'll see. There we go. There's the auto read track flaps up after takeoff checklist. Alrighty, after takeoff checklist. Flaps are up and we're pressurizing. After takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, well, from the looks of it, at least as of now, we should be crossing Bubby at 11th, at just exactly at 11,000 feet. Just barely. Yeah, let me select the speed. That's another technique you could do. Just keep the climb going to 250 knots. Don't accelerate through 10,000 feet. And there we go. We made the restriction just barely. All right. And now let's resume normal speed. Boom. There we go. We are through 10,000, so I get the landing lights off. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. This is Ogden, Utah, right just below us here. Restriction over rugged is also made. Absolutely beautiful as well. A little bit of a turbulence in our climb out here. That's quite alright. I wonder if all these little lines you see down here are like little trails. You can see all the little lines in the dirt. I can almost guarantee you those are all like either off-road trails, like ATV or SUV trails, and some of the smaller ones are probably hiking trails. I think, isn't it Utah or Colorado? I think it's Colorado, actually, one of the healthiest states in the U.S. It's probably because you know, their weekend activity is going to the mountains and going for a hike versus, you know, going to the beach and drinking a few cocktails, you know. That's that could be one of the reasons why they have such a healthy population out there. And I can see why. It's been quite a long time since I have had a nice long Salt Lake City overnight. But in fact, no, it would have been post-COVID. Post-COVID, I had a Salt Lake City overnight, and from downtown, it actually is pretty walkable. to one of the trails that leads into the mountains. So it did that. That's a good bit of fun doing that. You would think that like you'd be the only one out and about walking on the trail, but no, it's actually a very, 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 very busy trail. So you felt really safe being on it instead of just being out on the trail by yourself, you know. Alrighty. Let's head back up front. Are we through 18? Well, we are about to cross 18. So we'll do transition standard set once, set twice, and set thrice. We'll go ahead and get that turned off as well. Excellent. And we can get some in-flight tunes going, shall we? And while I'm thinking about it, what we can do is we'll pull up the information for Denver. Okay. It's now favoring 2-6. 2634. It's 180. It's still, the winds are still out of the south. Like firmly out of the south. Like they're not switching anytime soon. I do not know why they keep. See, Pilot Edge is saying 16 right and 17 left, which makes a lot of sense. That's logical. Because in 4 more knots, you're going to start getting a lot of people complaining. All it takes is 4 more knots of tailwind right there. Why aren't you? Okay. I guess I can't grab that. Yeah, I can. So all it takes is 4 more knots of tailwind right there. And you're going to start getting a lot of pilots complaining that there's a 10 knot tailwind. Because usually 10 knots is where most of your limitations start coming into effect. So you gotta be careful about that. So I mean, 10 knots you're at limitations, so technically you can do it, right? But you know, it's once you start getting between 10 and 20 knots of tailwind, that's when you're gonna start getting the complaints, because that's where a lot of people's limitations start kicking in. Which is why Pilot Edge has 1.6 versus Real World has 3.4, because the tower manager for some reason thinks no one's going to complain about a 10 knot tailwind until that wind picks up just 4 knots and people start saying they can't take it. Especially like now that we're starting to transition to the, all of this is so I could get the altimeter. What's the altimeter down there? 3009. Alright, so let's go ahead and set that 009 so I don't have to think about that later. There we go. The meter is set 3 times there. But yeah, you know, all of that to say, you know, it's a lot to flip an airport all the way around, but you also got to look and see what the winds are doing. If the winds are consistently doing one thing, it might be worthwhile to flip that airport around for, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours versus keeping it one direction. Even if the weather's going to change in 7 or 8 hours, it's worth it to just make that flip. And I guess that's what the tower manager is looking at, what the winds are going to be doing here in 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't know if they're going to change to be more favorable or this is just a runway configuration they like, but once you start annoying pilots with their tailwind limitations, they're going to say, you know, that they can't, they're going to start complaining about, you know, how tight it is landing. Now, to be fair, Denver has nice long runways, so landing shouldn't be an issue there, but trust me, when it is, you're already at 5,000, 6,000 feet, right? So you're already high. We're approaching summertime, so the temperature's going to start warming up, and we have a 10 knot tailwind. This is a recipe, like, even though if we look here, So even though Denver has these nice, beautiful, long 12,000-foot runways, right? This is a 16,000-foot runway. So if they're landing 35 right? So it's a 12,000-foot runway for 35 right. Let's go do a landing assessment. Let's pretend it's summertime and we're coming in to land with a 10 knot tailwind here. So let's go here, or I could just do that. There we go. I have a button for that. There's a button for that. So 3 for right. Let's go 3 for right. Right. We'll apply the METAR, and we'll make it 160 at 10. Right. 10 knot tailwind. And it's gonna be, let's say it's 35 degrees out. Very hot day. Very hot day in Denver. And let's do 2980. Right? Our landing weight, we're really, really far below our max landing weight. But let's say we're pretty close to it. So let's just put in 171. So you can already see with those conditions right there, with a 15% additive, we need more runway. We need 500 feet more runway. Now I can change that to auto brakes medium, right? And then max reverse really doesn't do anything. But you see how that can change, right? And then let's say it's a gusty day and you want to go flaps 3, right? That makes it even worse. So you can see low auto brakes on flaps 3, you need 13,000 feet of runway. And the thing with low auto brakes and the auto brake system in general is it takes into account you're going to use the auto brakes from touchdown all the way to stop. That's how long it will take the aircraft to stop if you used it from touchdown to stop. That's why max manual gives you the best landing distance. So we'll go auto brakes medium. We're at 171,000 pounds. Flaps full. We still need 8,500 feet. It's a decent amount of runway. About now, let's say you floated just a little ways past a little ways past 1,000 footers. Every stripe that you floated down, it's another 200 feet you can't use there. So you got to be very cognizant of that. You can run out of runway real quick. Even though you have a 12,000 foot runway, you could run out of runway real quick if you're not careful. So with a 10 knot tailwind, that's why I said I'm surprised that Denver is actually still landing with a tailwind, because with the way performance can get at 5,000 feet, especially in hot weather, you need a lot of runway. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. We can get rid of, actually I'll leave you out because we'll apply the METAR. So we'll do a regular METAR here. We'll do it we're already below our max landing weight, so 163.6 is what we're at now. I always like to take the worst case scenario. 163.6. Yep. It doesn't do the point automatically, and we do low auto brakes and idle reverse. So you see, flaps 3, flaps full. I'll probably go flaps full on that. And so you see 11,020 feet of runway. It's a lot of runway. Oh, and that's just me using, at our current weight, low auto brakes. That's it. We have the current METAR, and we have everything else would be how I would normally do it. And we still need 11. That leaves you a 1,000-foot margin, just a 1,000-foot margin, and that's with the current weather we have now. That's why I said, if the winds pick up to a 10-knot tailwind, people are going to start complaining. So that's enough about talking about landing performance. I have 16 right in there. There we go. So that switches to That should be a headwind component. There we go. There we go. Got the headwind component now. So you switch that around to a headwind. And I need 10,000 feet. Now I have an extra 1,000 feet of runway. So this is why, you know, all I did was switch the runway from north to south. And I gained 1,000 more feet of slop that I can play with. You know? So that's what we'll do. We need 10,157 feet of runway on a 16,000 foot runway. So more than enough runway. Yeah, that's also the surprising thing. I guess if people start complaining about the runway, they'll just switch them over to 3-4 left and say, is that enough runway for you? I don't know. Because they're saying, the real world is saying arrival 3-4 right, which is still 12,000 feet. It's, I don't know. I guess if you complain enough, you can get 3-4 left. That way you get the extra 4,000 feet of runway. So that is what it is. We'll go ahead and hide that, get rid of you. We have our landing data, so that looks good. We're going to be going south because why not? Unless I get in the pattern and it seems like everyone else is doing something else. We're cruising along here. I think it's going to be smooth. We'll go ahead and get the fast seatbelt sign turned off. While I'm up here before I go back to the cabin, let's go to our perf. Let's just input some data here. Runway. You would think I should know this. Not used. Did they do a swap? Is there a new ATIS? Nope. They're just not using 2.6 now. Okay, it is what it is. Yeah, they're still going south, so that's what we'll use. The altimeter 3009er. Temperature is 16. Winds are 180 at 6. Excellent. We'll use flaps full and our minimum is 5526. There we go. And while I'm up here, let's just go, because I forgot to do it on the ground, so we'll just do it up here. Let's review the arrival, shall we? Alrighty, so we had camper, graze, and then bike is at our boat flight level 250 and 280 knots. Then we have Biv between 23 and 24 and 280 knots. Did I say 23 and 24? 23 and 27, 280 knots. Then we have vessel is going to be between flight level 210 and 250 and 280 knots. Then longs between 19 and 22 and 270 knots. Then flannel, I guess that's how you would say that, is between 16,000, flight level 210 and 250 knots. Then we have beyond at 13,210 knots. And swaying at 12,000, and there's no speed restriction there, just at or above 12,000. Then we have Kale at 11,000 and 210 knots, and that will take us right into the transition. We must have just crossed the fix because it just sequenced there. You. This is the right approach, right? 16 right, ILS. It should be... nope. That is not how that works, box. Let's try this again, box. I said approach vias. Did I not put an approach via in? There we go. Okay. Don't need all of that to change an approach via. Alrighty. So everything is going to remain the same. But from Iliad, 11,210 knots, we should go to Schramm. Schramm is at above 10,400 feet. That looks good. From Schramm, we got Shred at above 10,000. Then from Shred, we got Psychic at above 10,000 as well. Newland at above 9,000. Marin at above 8,000. And Jetson at above 7,000. That's going to be about 5 miles on a 30-degree glide slope. 5 miles, 30-degree glide slope to the runway. Ramos approach. Going to climb out and intercept it on a 218 heading. Ooh. Climb to 5,900, then a climb right turn to 12,000 on a 218 heading. And FQF. That is... What is the name of that VOR? I feel like I should know that one. VOR there. We'll take that all the way to Bruise. There we go. So that all looks good. Excellent. There we go. Got a little bit of time here in cruise to just chill out. I was looking this up in the real world. Frontier flies their Neo on this route, but not the biggest fan of the IN A320 and 321 Neos. Although with this sim update, I think they did change a lot of stuff, so maybe I should give it another try. Because I think the last time I was test flying it around one day, and there was a lot of glaring issues with the aircraft. That just made it not enjoyable to fly, if I could say it like that. So hopefully with Sim Update 2 they fixed a lot of the issues that they had going on with the 320 and 321 Neo, because a lot of it I think wasn't as much as it was all FMS side, right? So I think VNAV predictions were off, and sometimes the LNAV would do weird things, so it was that was just interesting, but hopefully they've made some major improvements there. And again, still looking forward to the BFU, the big Fenix update. Definitely looking forward to that. I think they've fine-tuned even more their flare logic with it. We just hit a little bit of turbulence there. They fine-tuned their flare logic throughout the 320 series of aircraft, so hopefully flaring should feel more natural now than it does. Like I was saying yesterday, the reason we got that nice little bounce is because I was so used to, in the 319, if I wanted to flare, you have to yank pretty hard on that side stick to get just 1 or 2 degrees of nose up attitude out of the aircraft, and so I think that will be done and gone away with the BFU. So good things coming to Phoenix, and then I think after the BFU, it's the update coming first and then the Neos, or is it the Neos coming first and then the update, or are they both coming at the same time? I think we're getting the update first, and then the Neos are going to drop sometime after that. I think they're just going to do the 320 Neo and 321 Neo. I'm not too sure if they'll do a 319 Neo, because it's not really a popular selling aircraft. Airbus kind of did themselves in with that one when they bought out Bombardier's C-Series aircraft and relabeled it the A320. It's I get an A319 Neo when I can just buy an A320. It seats about the same amount of people. Has excellent range, has the new engines, very fuel efficient, has a wider cabin. When you have 5 abreast, it just feels wider than when you stuff that extra seat in there. Although I'm sure if you're a low-cost carrier somewhere, you can stuff that extra seat and make it 6 abreast if you want to. But yeah. It was funny. I was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was a few days ago. Speaking about low-cost carriers and stuffing seats in airplanes, I guess one of my neighbors had a business trip that they had to go on, and they ended up taking Spirit. So they took good old Spiritual Wings. And you know, everyone always, you know, likes to dig on Spirit, but Spirit actually, when things go good, things go great. And so he was like, I didn't see any problem with Spirit. You know, it was a good flight. You know, yeah, sure, it wasn't the most leg room, but I mean, everything went for the most part fine. Left a few minutes behind schedule, but on the way back, they were pretty much on time. So I'm like, I mean, Spirit, you can't hate on Spirit. They're doing a really good job at what they do. I mean, yes, they are in bankruptcy, but I mean, obviously, for low-cost carriers and ultra-low-cost carriers, they're there for a reason. They're there to make money, and their business model obviously has been working for them for quite some time. So you know, I like to say people hate on Spirit, but they aren't bad if you know what you're getting yourself into. Plus, Spirit really does take care of their employees. About 40 miles to the top of descent there. Spirit Wings, yeah, they really do take care of their employee group. So that's another, I've heard a real big benefit of working with them. They actually, people who work there actually do like working for their employer. Shocker, right? I don't know. I'm really interested to see how this United JetBlue thing is going to go. If the DOJ is going to block that as well and say it's an illegal alliance, like they did with the JetBlue American thing, the also JetBlue Spirit thing. It seems like anytime JetBlue tries to make a move, the DOJ just knocks them down. Oh my gosh. Can JetBlue just get a break, please? Getting real close to that top of descent point. What I like to do is descend a little early. Let's see, we have a company message here. This is probably telling us you're late. Give me a reason. Oh, no ADC required. Okay, right on. I like that. We do Denver 16 right. There we go. Now do the same thing for this side. Denver 16 right. Before we begin our descent, I guess we can go ahead and brief it up. We already reviewed the route. So we'll ask our Ghost FO if he has any threats. The biggest threat being the high terrain to the west here. You know, altitude airport. So we did our landing assessment, and we do have the landing distance to land here. So that's good. Alrighty, I mirror those same threats. We will mitigate the threat of terrain by having terrain on ND. There we go. We can go ahead and put that up on there. We're coming in on the longs through arrival. We reviewed it. The first restriction is going to be bike at or above flight level 250, 280 knots. And the bottom side is going to be KL at, or Kaylee at 11,210 knots. Plan on doing a visual. We'll back it up with the ILS 2 runway. 16 right, chart 11-4, dated 14 April 23. We'll use flaps full, auto brakes low. I'll back it up with max manual. So we'll start with low for now, because why not? Plan on a soft go around if we need to go mist. Plan on doing with a published mist. If we do lose an engine, we won't turn towards the mountains. We'll just keep going south. We'll parallel the mountains there. And when we do land, this is why I'm using auto brakes low, because when we do land, plan on Delta 5 or Whiskey Bravo, or if we want to, we can roll it all the way down to Whiskey Alpha, and we could take Whiskey Alpha and whatever this is into the ramp there, and we'll park probably somewhere like right here. I don't know. Figure it out when we get there. Any questions? No questions. Excellent. Let's see, we're getting right across that top of drop. 11,000 is the altitude. Let's go ahead and select 11. That is set. And we can go ahead and manage that on up. We'll probably go under the bridge. That's what I'll probably do. This is why the other maps function is so much better. Okay, so we'll probably go under the bridge, and we'll park somewhere like down here. What we'll do. So that'll be the plan. If we get Delta 5, we'll take Delta 5 or down to Whiskey Bravo straight across, and then or Whiskey Alpha straight across. One of the two is going to happen. And then we'll just take Foxtrot and whatever this entrance is. Alpha 5? Alpha Sierra. There we go. Foxtrot Alpha Sierra. We'll take the Alpha Sierra lane to the gate. There we go. Excellent. We've begun our descent. Go ahead and hide that. Pretty much on speed and on our altitude there. It may need just a little bit, yeah. It's already complaining it needs speed brakes. Here we go. There we go. We'll stow those speed brakes. Excellent. Denver area traffic. Frontier Flight 3318 is over vessel at flight level 251. We're descending on the Longs 3 arrival runway 16 right transition into Denver. Denver over traffic. Excellent. While I'm at it, let me go ahead and see what the Denver CTAF is. One 124.3. There we go. So we'll tune that in once we turn onto the ILS 1243. Excellent. Is it me, or does that sharklet almost look like it's casting a shadow onto itself? Like, the polar bear looks like super dark right there, and then we go over here. Obviously the sun must be to our right, a little further south in the sky. Check up and see. Ooh, we are insanely high on profile. Get some boards out. Well, we're not high on profile because we've made the flight level 210 restriction. I hope we can make the 250 knot restriction. Where are we on profile though? 500, 600 feet high? Okay. That's not that bad. I'll go ahead and kick on the anti-ice for these clouds right here. Back in speed mode, so I guess I can get rid of the speed brakes now. And of course, it's gonna need to slow down to 250 knots. I don't know why it's waiting like 2 miles out to do its slowdown, but that is what it is. So we're transition at 3009er, said once, twice, and thrice. We'll go ahead and get our wing lights on as well. Check our status messages and do a descent checklist. Let me go ahead and double check our weather here one more time. They're still going. 2006 and 3009. Yep, there we go. So we can go ahead and hide that. Descent checklist. Altimeter is 3009. Our auto brake is low. Perfect bridge page is set. Arrival briefing is reviewed. We have the Longs 3 arrival. Visual backed up with ILS to runway 16 right. Our status is checked. Descent checklist is complete. We can go ahead and we'll get rid of our in-flight entertainment. We'll get bring that back once we are on the ground and deplaning. Let's see. I'll also, now seems like a good time to get flight recorder to start doing flight recorder things. We'll start recording. There we go. And we are recording because Denver is at or around 6,000 feet. It's 5,000 and change, right? So it's pretty high up there. 5,326 feet. So At 15,000. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Get the speed brakes going back out again. And actually, yeah, that should be on. Excellent. So we're getting all the things done. We're about to cross Circle D here, which is going to slow us up to 210 knots. So what I'll do now is I'll just pre-select 210 knots. We'll slow on down to that, get some flaps going, and let Circle D activate the approach phase for us. So if I put this on perf, and I'll leave this one on flight plan, you will see that this will automatically cycle over to approach phase once we cross Circle D. And this is the region where it can be very hard to slow down an A321 simply because... What is it doing? Airplane? Why did you just try to take a nosedive? Alrighty. So it wanted to get down and level off so it could slow down. I guess that was its plan all along. So this is a very tricky region to be in an A321 because you're trying to go down and slow down at the same time, but look at where your hook is when you have the speed brakes out. So it can be very hard to manage your speed coming on down on a 321. That's why we're just going to push the level off here, because we're below profile. Why are you not leveling off? Push to level off, bro. It says vertical speed 0. Why are you still going down at 1,000 feet a minute? Thank you. All right, flaps 1, speed verified. All right, that's going to give us some speed relief here. And now we'll continue our managed descent here. Let's see. Bottom side is going to be Jetson at 7,000. So let's go ahead and tune in 7,000 feet. That will be our bottom. Why? What are you doing? Why are you just hanging out at the... Oh my gosh. This airplane, man. I'm about to lose it on it. The FMA was showing descent, but it wasn't descending. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Something in the background is going on. I just don't know what. Turn in the Unicom or the CTAF there. Nope. No, stop it. I don't need that. We'll slow it up to 190 knots if we can. There we go. Speed management is coming on in. Love it. We can finally go flaps 2. Our speed is verified. So we make our turn southbound. I do have the airport out ahead of us. There it is, right out there. Excellent. All my lights are on? Nope, forgot to do that at 10,000 feet. There we go. All of our lights are on. We can turn the engine anti-ice off. Excellent. And do 180 knots. There we go. We'll hang out here at 10,000 feet. Everything is going quite smoothly. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Denver traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 is over Sakik on the ILS runway 16 right, approach Denver over traffic. And let's go ahead and arm up the approach. Get the second autopilot on, low capture. So we're at a good speed right now. We're at 180 knots, so that gives us the capability of going flaps 3 as well. So we're in a really good situation where we can go gear down and flaps 3 and slow the aircraft up. Slow the aircraft on down to its final approach speed here. Denver can be one of those tricky airports where the high altitude will get you when it comes to slowing down and configuring and all that stuff. Very, very hard. You saw how easy it is for that hook to come up and just meet you as you're trying to use the speed brakes to slow down. So there we go. Everything's looking beautiful right now. This is showing a crosswind to a tailwind. What is the current weather? Is going to update that anytime soon. Weather 1 hour and 1 minute old. So no, they haven't updated. It still says 106 or 190 at 6. Sorry. Oh. Oh, okay. That's why they're going north. It's forecasted to, the winds are forecasted to shift to the north, gusting up to 18 knots. Well, that's not what it is right now, so that's not what I'm using. Double check one more time, make sure the replay tool is doing replay things. Yep, it is recording. Excellent. Winds are pretty much a crosswind. It's a headwind, but it's pretty much a crosswind as well. Let's go ahead and go performance 145. I'm just going to add 2 knots here just for the funs of it. Let's go ahead and manage our speed. Drop the gear down. Flaps 3, speed verified. Flaps full, speed verified. Before landing checklist, altimeters, we have 3009er and 6840. Engine mode is norm. The landing gear is down and 3 green ECAM memo. Landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. There we go. I do have the runway in sight. We'll get rid of our tablet here. Waiting for the bassies to come inside, or the pappies to come inside. Still a little hard to see the pappies right now. Stable. So you can see this altitude messing with us. We're at 145 knots, but our ground speed is 156 knots. And our true airspeed is 162 knots. So this is why you get such long landing distances here. Alrighty, I see the pappies. Autopilot's coming off. Stable. Target. Sync 7. Autopilot's off.
Above. Minimum 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Drive.
Deployed. See how long this roll is going to be if I just leave it, leave the auto brakes on low and minimum idle reverse. 80. I'll take the 90 degree here. 60. Manual braking, auto brakes off. So we'll take the 90 degree. I think this is going to be Whiskey Bravo. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Whiskey Bravo. It may not be. Actually, I don't think it is. Let's see. This is Whiskey Charlie, so we'll turn right here on Delta. We'll take Delta, Delta 5, Whiskey Bravo. So that's what we'll do. So, remember, we needed about 30% just to move anywhere. And you can see all the hills here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Ha 34% just to move anywhere. Yeah. Flaps up whenever we get a chance. Holy moly. There we go. Denver, this airport, at least in Flight Simulator, is insanely hilly. And so, you know, they started from scratch and they still couldn't make a flat airport. Alrighty. So we did flaps up. Let's go ahead and get that, and that. Excellent. Go ahead and get the APU going. Lights can come off. And let's see. Yeah, I put that back in auto. Sweet. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. That seems to track. And now we're going down a hill. So we accelerate downhill here. Wow, Fenix A321 not accelerating going down a hill. In fact, we are slowing down going down the hill. There's something massively wrong with your drag coefficients here, Fenix. That's okay, though. I still love you. Here's a Delta 5. APU is up and available. Excellent. There we go. We are now on Whiskey Bravo. Take Whiskey Bravo and then Foxtrot to Alpha Sierra. It's like straight uphill. Oh man, you would think if you made a clean sheet airport, you just grade it and then it would be completely flat. But I'm sure they probably did the best they could with the terrain out here. It's not like there's mountainous terrain anywhere out here, right? Which one's Foxtrot? Is this one Foxtrot? Yes, I think this is Foxtrot. The movie map is taking quite a while to actually catch up. So there we go. Turn here on to Foxtrot, and then we'll take this all the way down to Alpha Sierra, which is like the third left-hand turn. Denver, Colorado. The only place where you can spend more time taxiing around than you actually did flying. This airport is absolutely massive. I think it still has room to grow. If they really wanted to grow it, they could. So here's the first two lefts, so we're going to take the next left after these two lefts. That should be Alpha Sierra. Alright, here we go. This should be the Alpha Sierra line. And now, time for me to actually choose a gate. I guess. Ooh. 48 maybe? Uh-oh. Don't go backwards. That happened to me one day. I didn't realize I was idling on a hill. And when it was time to go, I released the brakes and we started rolling backwards. So I was like, no. Don't go backwards now. Yeah. Full send. We'll just go Alpha 48. How about that? I know these civil airports can be very hit or miss. Oh, that's not the side I want. When it comes to gate layout, so definitely one thing so we should probably fix there. We can get our taxi light off. That'll be fine. I'll be okay with that. And let's go up here and Alpha 48. That's what I said.
Denver traffic United 634 pushing back Bravo 28.
That's cool. They even got the little bridge here. Very neat. This is one of the... Oh, Denver going to be doing Denver things. Every single time I fly in here. This is cool. I don't know what this is supposed to be, like a caravan or something like that, but that's cool. That's cool. Oh, get back on center line. Oh no. Hopefully that person isn't on gate 48. Oh man. What on earth? What is this?
Terrain.
What is that? Oh my gosh. No one saw that, right? No one saw that. Alright. Yeah, they also need to fix circulation. Note to self, do not go under the bridge anymore at Denver. Sobo. WTF. The crazy part is, I'm pretty sure I've flown out of Denver a few times before. I have never had, and maybe I just don't go under the bridge, and that's probably why. Where's my gate? 48. It's right here. All right. Oop. Yeah, you can tell I don't have this gate set up. We got the pallet loaders. Really? The line doesn't match. Oh my gosh. Why is it that it feels like you come to a stop in the 321 with the CFM engines just being at idle? Preferably before I'm inside the next jet bridge. Thank you. There we go. Good enough. Let's see. Am I inside the next jet bridge? It almost feels like it, but no, I'm not. Wow. Look at there. Okay. Fast seatbelt sign can come off. I forgot to turn off the wing light there. Excellent. We can shut down our engines. 1 and 2 can come off. Go back up top. Get our fuel pumps off. Beacon cook can come off. And then lastly, we'll check our fluid levels again. Oil looks good. Hydraulics all look good. No class 2 status messages that we need to be concerned about. And our oxygen is looking good. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Denver, Colorado. Let's go ahead and get our ground music going back up again. We can also go ahead and disconnect from the VATSIM. Thank you very much for your service. Even though no one was online today, that is quite all right. I am all right with that. Yep, we loaded bags, but somehow pallets are coming off. Yeah, what I really should do is, I haven't set it up for every aircraft. I really should go into the aircraft settings and just set all narrow bodies to use belt loaders. It's still kind of dumb that by default, the pallet loader is what's what they'll always use. Like, no, stop using a pallet loader. Even white bodies don't always use pallet loaders. Oh, and with that, I forgot I can also end the replay. We can stop recording the replay. There we go. That aft pallet loader is very unique. Something I don't know if I've ever seen before, where it's like it can hold 2 pallets at one time, and it just drives up, lifts itself up. You unload 2 pallets, you lower yourself and drive away. That seems to be a lot more efficient, especially for an narrow body. Because, you know, narrow bodies aren't going to have, 15 pallets worth of stuff in the cargo hold. 2 pallets, plenty of pallets. Oh wow, the Ford one had 3 pallets in there. I thought once the second pallet was going to be done, that'd be it. Nope. I got a 3rd pallet. Don't tell me that there's a 4th pallet in there. I will flip out. I'm pretty sure the other part of this is, I think it can, that pallet, the little loader that the container's on right now, I'm pretty sure can hold 2 pallets at the same time. Like while this is lowering, they can roll out another pallet on this. That way this can go while this is getting loaded onto the train. This is getting in position so that once this comes back up, it's ready to roll, go down. It's very interesting. The whole palletizing process, very interesting. There we go. All the pallets are offloaded. See if the rear belt loader is going to, drive away with their pallets. There we go. Beautiful. Didn't actually see if... Oh, we still have people leaving. All right. Hey, you're flying with powder. Oh, that's cool. They got a little, the little thing right there at the entrance. That was awesome. Bro's not even using the wheels for a suitcase, he's just carrying it. If only every passenger were like the passengers here. You know, just come out of their seat with the suitcase already in their hand, you know? Or, you know, 99% of them just not even having carry-on luggage at all. That's amazing. Boarding would go so much more quicker. He actually ducked under the door. He understood the assignment. That is kind of funny how the tall guys duck to get out of the airplane. I don't ever think I did a shutdown checklist, did I? It never hurts to do one. Here we go. Shutdown checklist. Our parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brakes are disarmed. Radar is off. Windshield PWS is off. Our fuel pumps on our overhead panel, they're all off. Slides. 2468 disarmed. APU is on. Let's get that bleed air going. Sure, the passengers will be very happy to get some air conditioning now that we're literally done deboarding. Yep, I'm done deboarding. Literally as I do that. Alrighty. So with that said, we will go ahead and close the door and let's go ahead and master balance. Yeah, everything's off. All right, so panel states will go to a ready panel state. There we go. Wait for the gray boxes to disappear, and then we'll load up our replay. All right, gray boxes. Oh, okay. Well, we can solve that one quite easily. We'll close the door. Excellent. Looks like everything is good and ready to go. Let's go ahead and get flight recorder up, and we shall load our replay into Denver here. There we go. We'll fast forward all the way to not the part where we hit the ground, I can tell you that much. Wow, you can see downtown Denver in the distance there. All right, so let's go ahead and release that. Hopefully I'm not too far from the airport, but there we go. Downtown Denver with the mountains in the background there. As you can see, the airport is quite a ways away from the downtown area. Hopefully you don't fly into Denver just to go downtown, because it'll take you all day just to get there. Absolute butter. Gotta love the 321 Sharklet. Just bring the power out and just hold the nose at the same attitude you were coming in at. That's pretty much the only secret sauce ingredient you need right there. Might do one more interior shot. Just cause. Get one with the polar bear and the mountains in the background. Absolute beauty. And then of course you're not throwing in max reverse because no need to with all that runway out in front of you. Why throw it into max reverse and ruin a good landing? There we go. There we go. I get something like that. How about that? Literally just bring the power out, slight flare, nothing crazy, and then it just settles on the runway so smoothly. Let's bring it to about right there. Excellent. Let's do this view first, shall we? Trying to come up with some different drone views for us here. There. Just rolled it on right on center line. Absolutely beautiful landing here. I think what I want to do here, we'll do this. Sweet. There we go. That's what we'll do. Oh, I'm getting it. I'm gonna get it. Let's run that back. Didn't like that. Not clean. Look at there. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, look at you can see the hump on the runway. Michelle, hello. Welcome to the stream, Michelle. Glad to have you join up, even if it is right at the end. Max Racing says, howdy, great landing, yes sir. Glad, Max Racing, that you could make it out to one of the streams. I know it's kind of the middle of the day for everyone, so let me go ahead and unzoom that there. There we go. I think I got this back. Yeah, That's how I want it. All right. And we'll go inside for the final replay here. Take it up front. We'll roll you on back for the last time. Nice, nice flat terrain out here. It appears flat from here, but then you get down there and it's all these hills and not nearly as nice as you would think it is. But Max Reeson, howdy. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Michelle, thank you very much for joining the stream today. Tomorrow will be an evening stream. Not too sure quite yet where I want to go or what I'll be doing for that evening stream. Aviation Geek says I'm late. Yes, Aviation Geek, I'm so sorry, but we're just in time to see the last landing that we have here. If I can silence all of that from being in my ear, that'd be great. But I will leave you on a nice, beautiful landing here in Denver, Colorado. And tomorrow will be an evening stream, back to the evening stream again. Probably out of Denver, but I am not too sure where we're going to be going. That is to be determined. But until I see you all at our very next stream, please remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Grey Eagle. Peace.